GM, everybody. Thank you for rolling out of bed and tuning in for another episode of Wake and Jake with THC. Appreciate you being here. This is the show with high level insights and high hosts. As always, this is rated NFA for not financial advice. We are just speculating on what's going on in the market, giving our takes, and giving everybody a chance to kind of talk through some of these conversations. We have a lot of stuff to go over, which was kind of surprising. I thought it was going to be a slow week, but there's quite a bit going on. And as always, we're going to go ahead and start things from the top with some MVHQ sort of reminders and housekeeping, just so you don't miss out on the awesome stuff that we're doing. So first and foremost, last week we launched Alpha Launch 3. Hopefully everybody got a chance to jump in and play around and level up, get some points and stuff. We got three missions that are live right now. There's a cross-chain farming mission, which is going to let you mint some NFTs on some different chains. It's going to help get you some exposure to these different L2s, potentially qualify for airdrops, and also earn some points on our platform. And then we also have the Pirate Nation mission, which is live and has some really cool rewards from the Pirate Nation team. And then also the Galverse mission, which is going to give you access to some behind the scenes stuff from them. So really cool partners, really cool launch. I think we're super pleased with how everything has went as far as like the smoothness of the site and everything, quality of partners, and just a general rollout. So obviously want to hear your all's feedback. If you guys are enjoying the platform, you're welcome to provide feedback and stuff like that. But definitely go ahead and knock those missions out. This is kind of the introduction of our like level system and points. So don't get behind and have FOMO and everybody else has higher levels than you. So go ahead and knock these missions out before they close. Looking forward to what we have coming next for MVHQ. We got some really cool stuff going on with Blast. We are going to be having a Blast mission here very shortly, which is going to involve bridging some ETH over, minting an NFT, just to kind of dip your toes into the Blast ecosystem. And then kind of adjacent to that, I did also want to say that MVHQ is going to be entering the Big Bang competition with our platform. And in addition to this, we're also going to be having an office hours this week where we go over the Big Bang competition and sort of you can pitch ideas or we can talk it through. But basically, we're just going to chop it up and get our dev minds going as we just sort of think through what sort of dApps and stuff would be cool on Blast. So those are the MVHQ recaps. Jake, did I miss anything there? Anything that you want to add on to just before we get into the topics for the show?
No, I think you covered it great. I think just that we also had a town hall. If you missed it last week, there's a recording up there. We dropped a lot of information about our future, about the mint, about future utility, some new features that we're dropping, some partners that we're working with, a lot of alpha, honestly. So if you didn't check out that town hall, I'd recommend it for sure. It's in the content announcements channel. Then also just that blast mission is probably going to go live here the next sometime this afternoon EST. So probably in the next few hours or so. So just keep a lookout.
Yes, sir. Gonna make me blast. All right, good stuff. We can go ahead and I guess it would make sense chronologically to talk about stuff that I guess has happened in between last show and this show. I don't have many, but namely the Win token. So Win token launched, was able to be claimed. Some interesting price action. Looks like it's dumping at the moment. About $140 million market cap. But yeah, this is Jupiter's sort of meme coin launch, like test launch, I believe. They posted pretty long post-mortem, or they shared a pretty long post-mortem that just went over all of their mechanics and the bot mitigation and just all the stuff that they did good, all the stuff that they did bad. But it seems like this is all in preparation for the Jupiter or the Jupe launch, which is going to happen on January 31st. So, Win token, Jake, you got any experience, any takes here on Win or Jupe?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, whenever we can get these free money airdrops, always a positive, right? So hopefully everyone had some type of claim there. I think by the end of it, it was around like $80 or so to claim per wallet that qualified. And I'm not sure exactly what the qualifications are. I'm not sure if they officially published that. But I think like at the base minimum, you just had to have like a transaction or two in Jupiter by whatever their snapshot day was. So I mean, I had some alts that I like only did like one transaction with, maybe two. that ended up qualifying, thankfully. So pretty nice to have the little free money airdrop. We've seen this before with like SOS and some other ones where when a huge amount of people get an airdrop, usually there's like this like first day dip where people are selling for a little bit, and then it pumps because there's just so many people talking about it and like wanting to get in on it. Um, it's kind of hilarious how like how consistent these airdrops go, where it's just like such a known playbook by now, and it's like still working out. Where there's like this initial dip from the sellers, and then it eventually runs up a little bit, and then from there, who knows after a day or two. But at least initially, you can. It's kind of it's a bit predictable. Just kind of based on human psychology, I guess, where people get free money, they don't know what it is, and they immediately just want to just sell it and lock it in. And you can kind of take advantage of that. So pretty fun. The claim is over. I'm not sure if you mentioned that now for when it was. It went over, I think, an hour, maybe 2 hours ago, and it looks like, and they're actually going to burn the rest of the unclaimed supply. So 38.85% of the total supply is going to be burned for when. Once that was announced, that was kind of a sell the news event. Because people already knew it was going to be burned, but when the burn window closed, the price dropped by about like 30%, 20 or 30%. Since then, it's coming back a little bit right now. We'll see what happens. Since then, I don't think the burn's happened yet. I'm not sure exactly when. If anyone has any info on that, let us know. But I'm not sure if they've said exactly when that burn is going to take place. Maybe there's another catalyst from that. Maybe not. Something to monitor if you are a win holder or looking to get in on it, make a little play as well. So yeah, pretty fun event.
Oh yeah, good shout too on the sort of price action predictability on these airdrops. You're right. We do see a pretty common pattern there. We need to come up with a term for it, almost like the triple crown phenomenon, but with NFTs after mint out. Something similar going on definitely with airdrops. I did want to ask though on the burners because I didn't have the foresight to fire up any burners. I didn't think I'd qualify. Did you get the same allocation on each of the burner wallets that you did on your main wallet? And if so, I'm going to start kicking myself here.
Yeah, I did. I think it was very flat for this airdrop, where it was like everyone pretty much got the exact same amount, which ended up being like a random number, like 653,000, like 450 something. I don't even know. But it was like the
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
same for like pretty much everyone besides, I think there's like a few, maybe, I'm not sure who got more. I'm not sure. I think if like you had the Ovals NFT, because the Ovals NFT collection is the ones who are actually dropping this. It's just being supported by Jupe, is what they say. It's not their official meme coin, even though it's like basically been their official meme coin because they've been constantly tweeting about it and talking about it themselves. And even though they're trying to make clear that it's not, even though it like kind of is at the same time. Um, so yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what the breakdown was. I think it was total the supply was 70% that was actually allocated to the community. I haven't looked into the tokenomics in depth to know where the other 30% is. Um, but yeah, I
man.
mean, pretty nice. Pretty nice to have. I think it was over 1 million wallets that ended up qualifying.
Yeah, that 30% that got burned, man. Those were all my burners that I forgot to log into. So rip. All right, well, cool. Thanks for clarifying too. Yeah, as soon as you said it, totally. Oval's team dropped this, not Jupiter. But yeah, also good call on the muddy in the waters, man. I definitely thought this was an official product from them. That's hilarious. All right, well, we can go ahead and move on. There's some other sort of stuff that happened in between last episode and this one. One of them is the Quantum Cats Mint, which I believe I haven't checked Discords or anything. I believe just went live 14 minutes ago, unless that's been delayed. Now this is for whitelist. So we've talked about it the past 2 weeks. It's the Taproot Wizards team. People had to make a video or like do some other stuff in order to get whitelisted. So if you did, GG, well played. Hopefully you can go mint right now. I don't think they're actually delivering them until tomorrow, but at least worth shouting. If you have the whitelist, go hurry to mint it. Did you have anything on Quantum Cats, Jake, or are you going to keep on moving?
Yeah, we talked about this a good amount in the last couple episodes here, but like we can quick touch on it just because the mint is live right now. If you have whitelist, it ends at 2 p.m. Eastern, so about hour 45, and then public starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. The the whitelist is guaranteed. I'm not sure exactly what allocations are, if they've been even published that, but it sounds like because that's guaranteed that there's going to be supply left over for public. So if you don't want to try out, I personally am going to try for public. I think it's going to be. I think it's probably going to do pretty well. This is like a super hyped mint, the Taproot Wizard stuff. We've been seeing them for like over a year now, and it's the same guys. And it's only like a 300 or 3,333 collection. These cats are before these wizards come out. I think personally that they're going to do well from what their mint price of zero point 0.1 Bitcoin is. So I'm going to attempt. We'll see what happens in public. They actually extended their so they have this like pre-registration for your wallet where you basically log into their website and like pre-register your wallet. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's just like a Bitcoin thing, or maybe it's not required, but something they want to do. But basically, you have to have the amount of Bitcoin in your wallet, enough to mint in order to like pre-register it. And I guess that gives you a leg up on the competition when you go to mint in public. I guess you skip some steps, make it easier for yourself. So um, so anyway, with that process, they actually extended it. So that kind of tells me, I'm not sure if they said this, but it kind of tells me that they didn't have as many people pre-register as they anticipated. So maybe there is going to be a little bit more available for public than anticipated. So we'll see. I think you can still pre-register on their site. It says it's like giving me the option to do so, I believe. So if you do want to try for that and you have some Bitcoin or in your wallets. The public mint is at 3 p.m. Eastern, so 2 hours 45 minutes. You still have time to like bridge over there too if you want to go ahead and try for this quantum cat mints. I think it probably will do pretty well here. Um,
This is a 0.1 Bitcoin mint, correct?
yeah, 0.1 Bitcoin, which definitely a hefty mint price, but it's a super hyped up one for sure.
Here, if you got a sec, let's do a quick little exercise here. Also, shout out to JD. Just a quick shout out to JD for keeping us tight on the schedule, the upcoming events and stuff. He also had an idea for this little game here that I want to run by you. It's called Proper Reaction or Overreaction. And I'm just going to throw a hypothetical at you here. We're going to guess the floor price. You tell me if it's a proper reaction or if it's an overreaction. I'm going to say that quantum cats are going to go to a zero point 0.4 Bitcoin floor, so 4x for mint. What do you think? Proper reaction or overreaction?
Man, the 4x, that's a lot. Um, I don't know. I don't think they'll get that high. I can see them getting to like zero point 0.3, maybe 0.25.
So flipping the
Um,
node monkeys and doing some numbers, but maybe not that much.
yeah, I think like zero point 0.2 for sure after mint is I think like a 2x is certainly within the range outcomes. Zero point 0.4 is really high, but I mean that'd be great for everyone that's cooking on it. I know we've talked about it a bunch, so I'm sure there's gonna be some MVHQ people ready for it.
See, I had zero point 0.3 written down, and I was like, you know what? We're going extra spice. We're upping it. Maybe zero point 0.3 would have been a more of a conundrum for you. All right, cool. Well, we can go ahead and move on from the quantum cats. I know we've talked about it a lot, but yeah, good luck if you guys got whitelist and you are minting, or if you're going for public, like Jake just mentioned here. Something else that I guess we could stick with mints. So another mint coming up tomorrow on the 30th. Okay, thank you. Jake just posted the mint detail tweet from Quantum Cats and Voice Hangout chat. If you guys are curious to want to check that out. Another mint that we have coming up tomorrow is going to be Yaka Finance. This is a Say mint. I want to shout it out because I know the people on Say, the Say focused discussion, gave this one some attention and grinded a little bit for whitelist, doing some various stuff. That mint is going to be tomorrow. This is I guess like a DEX of sorts. They're trying to be the like main liquidity hub for Say. They won a competition like a hackathon for Say, and they're getting an allocation of Say tokens for that. And people just generally seem to be pretty hyped about it. I've tuned into a couple of their like office hours inside of their their server, and they're pulling in, audiences of over 2,000. They drop a giveaway and it immediately has like 500 reacts like the second that it appears. So something happening with Yaka Finance, I guess, to be determined if they're gonna cook or if it's gonna pay off or not. But if you have whitelist, definitely tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's when the guaranteed mint is going to start. I think first come first serve kicks in 2 hours after that, and then public after if there's any left. But I want to shout that one out just because I know that the Say maxis, well, maybe not maxis, people who are interested in Say have been grinding that one. I know there were also some white lists that were allocated to like the Colony and WeBump and just a bunch of other stuff. I think Dobbs as well, just stuff that people hold generally in MVHQ. So I wanted to give that one a quick shout. Um, let's see, moving on. Orbiter. This one's pretty spicy. So I've been using Orbiter for a while, just as like a bridge to get between networks. Very fast. It can be pricey if you're doing it a lot, but yeah, you pay a couple bucks and it can get you funds from one network to another, even if they seem disconnected. Sort of like what is it, Change Now or Rocket X or whatever people are using. So Orbiter's been doing this for a while. They opened up something interesting. I'm going to kick it over to Jake to talk about this one a little bit, but Orbiter, definitely want to keep your eyes on with the new L2 coming and stuff. Jake, do you want to talk about Orbiter for a bit here?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Scotco. He just shared this in time sensitive, and he's been sharing the a lot of info on Orbiter and how to get involved as well in this stuff and kind of farm. Um, but they actually just announced the new L2. I think as of yesterday. Um, which we actually just started farming before that too. So it's really good timing. So this new L2, I guess, is supposed to be it's supposed to be a way. I know it's like not another L2, right? But it's supposed to be a way to, I guess, connect all the L2s together. Some quotes from it is like by simply clicking on an interface, users can transfer not only assets but all data across all L2s. Um, you know, they say that they want to power the entire L2 landscape, where there's only one EVM compatible account to seamlessly explore all the ETH ecosystem. So I think basically is what they're trying to do is like reduce the barriers to constantly have to like switch change and bridge over, um, and change RPCs, all that stuff. I think it's a good thing. Personally, I think every any team that's working on stuff like this to reduce barriers to entry and like make things more simple on the user side, um, is a good thing to be able to connect all these L2s and stuff together in a seamless way. Where honestly, ideally, people don't even know they're on like L2 or what L2 they're even on. Like it shouldn't even matter what the tech stack is, right? Underlying, it should just matter what the user interface is. Keep it as simple as possible. So I think anyone working towards this kind of stuff, is a positive for the entire space. So I like to see that. That's cool to see. Kind of going along with that, we've been picking it out in time sensitive a few times, but there was this Omni chain inscription that Orbiter was running with something called L2 layer2.io or something like that. Here I just posted the announcement about the new L2 if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, there's also this thing that Orbiter was doing called the first Omni chain inscription. It was basically like you could mint these NFTs from about like 7 different L2s at once, and you could like mint on one, and it would send it. It would like bridge the NFT from one L2 to another L2, and it kind of did a couple things at once. One, you could farm like their points that they're doing, the Orbiter points on their site for every mint that you did, and then also you could farm those L2s that didn't have a token yet. So I had like Base and Scroll and Linea and like ZK Sync on there. So you getting some mints on those L2s, could hopefully go towards their future tokens as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I know a good amount of us did that. It actually did get minted out, I think, this morning. So there's not a chance to do that anymore, but there is like a secondary marketplace that says it's coming soon for Orbiter. So if you want to check that out, I'm not sure if there's any value to buying these inscriptions off a secondary market. Maybe just because it's like the first Omni chain inscription, maybe people will like create a narrative around that, and that it'll be worth something. Um, but just want to shout out those things. Because I personally like Orbiter. I use it for whenever I transfer between L2s because it seems to be like the fastest one for me. It's like almost instant.
Yeah, same here. And I'll open up to the audience too. If anybody wants to jump in and chime in on Orbiter, please feel free. Because I would probably just sit here and gush on the platform for a while. Yeah, like you said, it's just fast. It seemed to be. I think it was the only one at the time that was going that fast and had that many chains on it. And then as of recently, we've had Change Now and Rocket X pop up, which offer pretty much the same exact service. So it almost felt like they were eating their lunch. Orbiter also did like Galaxy campaigns for number of transactions. There was like 100, 1,000, 10,000, something like that. You got different pilot NFTs. Those are supposed to yield some points. They've been at this for a while, I guess is what I'm getting at. And yeah, it started to feel like they were farming us because then they added the O points and had, missions popping up on the side of their page to bridge to
Mm-hmm.
Manta and different websites and stuff. So it's just like, oh God, are they just going to keep adding more and more stuff? So personally, I'm excited that they are trying to at least develop another product outside of just the bridge. Like I'm saying, other people are popping up. They've got competition now. So I'm glad that they haven't just been farming us and stagnant. They've at least been farming us and working on a different product. So yeah, it's good. It's bullish in my eyes, but would definitely love to hear any other takes from anybody. We'll just pause here for a minute. All right, we can keep it moving. I got some other L2 stuff to talk about as well. Frame. Frame is going to be the next one I wanted to go over just quickly here. The claim has ended for the first airdrop of Frame, which was kind of just based on your royalties paid on your ETH mainnet wallet and volume, those sort of statistics. We did an office hour with Saigar, who's building Frame, and he did drop a little nugget of alpha in there. One of the line of questionings was just like, are you farming us with this airdrop? Is it a substantial amount of tokens that we're getting from this first claim? And he basically said, no, it's you're not getting a lot from this first claim. This is sort of just to get our name out there and word of mouth. The real alpha is that the second and subsequent, I should say, and maybe more than just the second, the airdrops after the first one, those are going to be the big chunky ones. So those are going to be directly related to interfacing with their platform. He kind of laid it out. I liked his logic. It was really good. Dude is very sharp, and he basically said like, look, we're not interested in giving you a big airdrop just because you've traded or paid royalties. Like, we're interested in rewarding people that use our platform. So that is going to start. So they're calling it season 2. Frame season 2 is going to start on January 31st. So I don't know how well known this is, or if it's out there already, or if it's going to be over farmed, but between us, I would say it's definitely worth your time on the 31st to at least pop in, maybe connect your wallet or create an account or just whatever the platform is allowing you to do there. I think that's going to be their mainnet launch. I would probably dip my toes in there and just mess around with it, just based on the bullishness that I have towards Saigar and just, their sort of approach and their team and all that stuff. So wanted to shout out the Frame. If you claimed, GG. If you didn't, it's okay. It was kind of a smaller claim. The big ones are going to be for people who put in the work here in season 2. Jake, do you have anything that you wanted to add there on Frame?
Um, yeah, I just want to add that I haven't looked super into Frame, I'd say, but I also have not seen like many of these like airdrop threaders talk about Frame at all. So that's usually a good opportunity, in my opinion. It's not oversaturated right now. Maybe that happens, once the season 2 starts up. But I think because of the fact that it is a delayed airdrop, where it's not going to be for a while, or you can actually get the tokens themselves, I think people are going to be focusing on other things. And it could be one of those ones where you actually commit to it and farm it for a bit. And there's not as much competition as these other ones, and it could be pretty fruitful. I do like that it's like an L2, and L2 is usually valued pretty highly, and then 2, it's by Saigar, who is pretty well known dev. He's very good at like giving insight and like breaking it down to like the I guess like a simple way of explaining something to someone who's like not dev focused, but you could tell he very much knows what he's doing, and he's also very well connected in the space too. Seems like a good dude. So I personally am pretty bullish on it just because of him and because of the team. And I don't know if it's gonna work. I think they're trying to do like royalty enabled NFTs. I don't know if people are gonna go for that. We'll see. But it could be at least a good farming opportunity just given those factors.
Yeah, I guess I could give a quick TLDR on what Frame is. I kind of just went straight into the airdrop mechanic or the token farming mechanics. Yeah, so it's an L2 that is built and designed specifically for our creators allegedly, but it's for royalty enforcement. That's why the airdrop sort of factored in the amount you've paid in royalties. They wanted to reward people that are paying the creators. So yeah, the royalty wars show no sign of slowing. We know people are just going to go where they can make the most money. But they're sort of flipping it on its head and saying, hey, what if we create an L2 specifically for creating NFTs, but we have royalty enforcement native to the chain? They also have some other little kind of like gimmicks where like they on like they can reduce the gas cost on certain protocols and functions and stuff. And one that they did was revoke.app or .cash, whichever one it is. Oh God, I should probably figure out which one it is so somebody doesn't go to the wrong URL there. But yeah, the Revoke app, they've made it to where it costs significantly less gas, just so they can say, oh, we're about safety and stuff. But ultimately, it's a NFT sort of native L2 that's specifically for royalty enforcement. So if that sounds interesting, or if you're bullish on Saigar or just L2 farming in general, or like Jake said, the underfarmed ones, that's probably a good shout. Um, I did also want to just call a little bit of attention. Shaggy kind of dropped. He's having a conversation earlier in voice hangout chat about farming and just how kind of ridiculous it's gotten to this point. Like it totally is a full-time job, depending on what farms you're going for, how active you're being on it. So yeah, definitely try not to become the product that is being farmed, and try and maintain a good sense of where your head is and what's worth it, and your time costs and all of that stuff. So all that to say, this one does seem like it would be worth it to at least pop in and dip your toes in and get a little bit of volume on their L2. Okay, so we can go ahead and move on to another. We're just ripping through these, man. I love this. We're gonna move on
That's
to the
right.
next topic here.
I do want to. It's revoke.cash, by the way. It's revoke.cash.
Dot cash. Thank you so much. All right, sweet. Yeah. I'm gonna go fire up a burner and go to dot app and see what happens. All right, cool. So we can go ahead and move on. One thing I did want to touch on, and really kick it over to Jake to get his insights, because I really appreciate these. That's an area where I'm not very informed, and I know we've talked about it a little bit, but the ETF action. So Jake, if you maybe want to take a minute and go through the ETF stuff, what are you seeing out there? Does it indicate anything where the market's headed, or just let us know where your head is at with the data that you've got?
Yeah, so market's green today. We love to see that. Bitcoin is up back over 43K, Sol's back over 100. ETH's up to 2,300, still lagging behind everything else, unfortunately, for those like myself who are pretty invested in ETH, and ETH NFTs and such. But it's great to see, really great to see. I think we got some reports on inflows and outflows of these ETFs, and I think they've been pretty positive, and that's probably what's been affecting the market a good amount. For instance, GBTC, which is the grayscale ETF that everyone always talks about, that's been dumping a lot of its coins. Their outflows have been gradually declining over the last several days. So that's really good to see. I just shared a tweet from Arkham, who's tracking them, tracking their Coinbase address, and this looks like it's significantly less this week. They're down 34% right now from their last transfer back in February, or back on Friday. And actually, so far today, I forgot where this tweet was. I forgot to link it, but so far today, the BlackRock ETF itself has more inflows than the GBTC ETF has outflows. And if we finish the day like that, that would be the first day where a single ETF has more inflows than the GBTC has outflows. So it's been, there's like 7 or 8 or whatever, like big ones that combined have had more inflows and outflows than GBTC. But this would be the first day where just one of them would outpace it, which is really good. I mean, we want inflows. That means more buyers than sellers, right? That means net buying on Bitcoin, which means price goes up, right? So that's what we want to see. And it seems like GBTC is slowing down its outflows, which is really, and the other ETFs aren't really slowing down as much. So positive direction. I think markets are very much forward thinking. They're seeing this trend, and they're reacting positively to it. That's kind of my analysis of what's going on right now. Around currently, there's been about 5 billion in outflows, um, and about 5.8 billion in inflows since the ETFs got approved and started. So it's about 800 million in current net inflows, current net buys onto Bitcoin since the ETFs dropped. So it's been largely pretty positive, despite a lot of the doomsday sayers around the grayscale stuff. And from what I've seen and from people that I follow that I trust their analysis, it seems like pretty bullish right now. I'd say on the future, and maybe that was like the dip that we needed, and maybe we can continue running up. So that's largely how I see it. I'm not like some macro expert, but I do try to follow what's going on, and follow people that are smarter than me to kind of get a sense of where the market's headed.
Beautiful. That's exactly what you're doing for us right now, man. I appreciate appreciate the sort of market forecast on the ETF there.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we keep ripping here. Sol's been the market leader. It really seems like, and I don't anticipate that stopping personally. It just feels like the cycle for Sol. I don't know. That's going to continue. Um, there's just so much. There's just so much going for it, and we got this Jupe airdrop coming too, which is going to be another igniter to the ecosystem. So I think a lot of stuff, shitcoins and NFTs on Sol, will continue to do well for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's hot take territory anymore. I think it's pretty unanimous that the experience is just better, right? Not paying gas. I mean, trading shit coins. They've got it's the shiny thing right now. They've got the airdrops coming. We're seeing a lot of stuff this current cycle that we saw for Ethereum and the previous one. So totally makes sense to assume that the trajectory is going to kind of go the same way. And as we know, ETH will be, lagging behind. It'll be, the sixth man on the team for some reason. So we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that people do come around and realize that ETH is king. But just a little personal take in there. All right, good deal. Anybody want to talk about ETF or just Solana at all? I want you guys just to remember this is it's open forum. You guys are. I mean, obviously, me and Jake are ripping and running up here and going through all these topics. But if you guys want to talk at length about any of these things, feel free to unmute or just a different topic that we haven't mentioned. Got a couple more things that I want to talk about, but also want to sort of take a second, take a breath, and just anybody that wants to chime in, feel free, or just give us a good morning. That'd be nice too. This was a lie. This was just so I could tab over and pull up my notes, but totally fine. Totally fine. We'll have a bad morning. We see how it is. Let's see. Tonk has a question. What do the missions get you for MVHQ? You will have to wait and find out, maybe. Or I mean, the ones that are live, you can go and see what the rewards are and stuff. Um, but yeah, the one upcoming, we'll make it clear in the either the announcement or the mission page itself what the rewards are. Silva saying, I'm dropping the ultimate disrespect to the best project dropping this week. Oh God.
I feel you got a hot mic, by the way.
Silva, you're gonna have to remind me. Seeing Silva's bear does remind me. Oh my God, smiles. Okay, smiles.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been like warned about this one. Might have to moderate you here, Silva. I don't know. It's getting a little weird in the chat.
Bill, do you want to talk about smiles? I don't know much about it.
Yeah. I mean, any specific questions? It's just it's the PFP collection, like his first AI PFP collection from Roop Rainisto. Uh, Probably a top 3 AI artist in the space, I'd say, behind just like Claire Silver and maybe 1 or 2 other people.
Where's
My
it dropping?
first
Sorry, what was that? You guys kind of overlapped each other.
Saying where's it dropping?
Here, I'll drop the site right now in Hangout chat. It's his own website he made, smile-soul.com.
Okay, so
My question is going to be, what the fuck am I looking at here?
oh my
Bro,
god.
AI smiles. Come on. Aren't they
Is
gorgeous?
this Lenny Kravitz with a snake cut tongue and fruit over his eyes?
Buddy, you know it.
Only NFT things, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I've been memeing them a little bit just because they are so ridiculous. I think they're funny just to look at and post in chat unexpectedly. But I do think it'll do decently well. I mean, they're super cheap at .2 Sol. It's like almost 100% allow list for his current collectors. So, you got to think collectors of pieces like Life in Western America, which is 3 or 4 ETH floor, went all the way up to 10 ETH. So it shouldn't be a bunch of botters and, people who are just going to dump these on the floor afterwards. So it might not be a huge, multiplier like 10, 50x, but I would not be surprised to see these do a 5 or 6x off the jump just because I don't anticipate a lot of people are going to be selling really.
Yeah, good
I
shout.
like it.
4.5. 4.5 floor on that Life in the West, or just under. Pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Do you know
just
the
a side
supply?
note. This is the guy that made shitty hands look good. You
Yeah,
got to give him this.
exactly.
That is a difficult task, especially on like Mid Journey version 3 or something. Those were an abomination.
I don't know if he's making these smiles look very good though. Specifically these tongues.
Oh yeah, they are nightmare fuel 100%.
No, I agree. I think anything by like a notable artist like this, especially on Soul, is gonna do well. Especially right now, it's kind of like the meta for it's kind of like the art meta. After we saw Rubber absolutely take off like 60x from mint, still holding the 18 Soul floor after minting for 0.25 Soul. And then some other stuff too. I think that a lot of MVHQ people got in on. I forgot what the collections are even named, but basically some Gen art stuff that's running on the back of this art meta that seems to be going on with Soul, because there really is like not much at all on Soul. It's pretty art deprived. So I think something like this will probably do really well. I agree. It's a good shout.
Yeah, I mean that sums it up pretty well, Jake. Cheap mint price, very established artist, first project on Soul, first quote unquote PFP project, and that's what he's calling it. And his words, not mine, but I think all of those should, along with Jupe airdrop the day after. It lines up really well for these to do well, through the middle end of this week. I feel like so.
Real quick, for those that are listening back to the recording that don't have the links in front of them, just going to run through the mint info real quick. The website is smile-soul or smile-soul.com. This is a 5,000 piece collection. It's going to mint tomorrow on January 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern. The whitelist is going to open, and these are 0.2 Soul per plus platform costs, whatever that means. So yeah, there you go. 5,000 piece collection, 0.2 mint. It's going to happen tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Try to mint with one eye closed.
For both.
Also, quick update on revoke.app. I know everyone's on the edge of their seats waiting for this update here. The domain is purchasable for $27,000, $28,000. So, if a scammer is committed enough, this domain might get gobbled up and turned into a drainer. So maybe put that on like a block list or something. Sorry for saying that out loud, but yeah, it looks like the domain's available. One thing that I did want to shout out, I didn't have this in my notes, but just seeing Silva's gorgeous profile picture has jarred my memory. Berachain, man, if you guys are sleeping on Berachain still, I would suggest coming out of hibernation and at least doing the bare minimum task of just claiming ETH from a faucet, doing a swap on their decks, and then staking those currencies. I'll drop a link here. Um, yeah, Jake's picking up the puns. Let's go. Yeah, I'll drop a link. It's super easy. Like, there's really no reason you shouldn't do it. It's free. It's a test net faucet. So just fire it. You use MetaMask, whatever. Um, Silva's saying no. He doesn't want you guys to know about this cook. He wants all of the honey for himself. But I gotta share the alpha, man. I've been like low key addicted to this faucet. I'm just like gobbling up this fucking testnet Bera and swapping it for honey, staking it. You get a reward token for staking, and then you take that reward token, you stake that with a validator. So yeah, if you guys are not hip to Berachain, it's like Ponzi's within Ponzi's. Still in testnet at the moment. There's going to be an NFT and a token drop for all of these Bear PFPs. They have like 5 or 6 collections with really high floors. But this is sort of just entry level, very base exposure. Drop in the link in Voice Hangout chat now. Again, you just click claim on the faucet, then go to the DEX, do a little swap, and stake it in a pool. Get some rewards.
Ooga booga, baby.
Ooga booga, boom! Links in the chat. This could be the best thing that you do on this Monday morning. So yeah, give it literally 2 minutes to just go claim some faucet drip and stake that bad boy.
Yeah, I want to throw my hat in the ring one more second here, if that's all right, guys. Um,
Please.
everyone obviously airdrop farming is the meta right now. Ton of it happening on Sol and all these other L2s, Blast, Manta, yada yada. I do think it's been talked about, I think, on both episodes so far of Wake and Jake, but I think Berachain will be very, very lucrative for anyone who engages, in the test net. Like, just do what Top Hat said: claim from the faucet, swap, stake it, then restake your BGT token you get into a validator, and just kind of keep that Ponzi going. Yeah, as much stuff as I see on Twitter and other places I kind of look for news and alpha, ton of stuff being talked about with Solana, ETH, all those other L2s, but not a whole lot on Berachain. And I think there's a strong chance they launch in the next 2 to 3 months. So I think this is something that could pay off really well. And it's pretty confusing at first, to be honest. But if you hit up the Berachain focus discussion we have here in MVHQ, so many people who are keyed in, Lord Marlboro, Banger, Cap, that have all been really, really helpful in giving links and just helping get everyone settled into, well, again, what can be a pretty weird chain once you get in there and read around, try and figure out what's happening. So please don't hesitate, jump in, ask questions, and hopefully you'll get that stimmy coming up.
Yes, sir. Well said. Yeah, it's another one I would kind of lump this in with. I feel like it's underfarmed. I mean, it's been showing on like some like trending lists and stuff, just for like searches and stuff. But I feel like that sort of veil of like difficulty, like the barrier to entry, is there. So people are kind of just like, like seems confusing, or seems like I'm too late. There seems to be a lot of that going on. So personally, I'm very bullish on the ecosystem, and more specifically, I'm bullish on these low lift tasks, as opposed to buying a 6 ETH bit bear or band bear or whatever the case may be. Like, it's just a lot more risk to you, whereas this is just like fire up a burner, or whatever, just claim from the faucet. So I'm bullish on these particular steps, specifically. But yeah,
And this is I was gonna say, this is free, right? If it's on testnet, it's free to do.
yeah, totally free.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is free on testnet. So they're just,
Yeah.
I guess, going through the motions of, getting you used to getting your Bera, swapping it, staking it, and then getting your rewards and staking it with a validator. Very easy. Takes, a minute per day if you wanted to commit that to it. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth the lift there.
Beautiful. We love free. We love asymmetric upside, baby.
Yes, sir. I got one more too. Speaking of asymmetric upside, this one, I see there's a little bit of talking in VHQ. I've been keeping an eye on it just because I have a big old bag of this. But it's the BNCS, like the Bifrost polka dot inscription thing that some of us, like a handful of us, did. It may have been like a night crew thing. I don't remember, but there was like a dozen or so, maybe 2 dozen of us that were. It was like basically free. It was like a penny per click, and you got like 10,000 tokens, and we just set up auto clickers and just went ham. I may or may not have like 10 million of this token. So not chilling. It's not tradable or sellable or anything like that. There is a staking opportunity now. If you have big bags of the BNCS, the polka dot inscription thing we did, they recently, this was a time sensitive post as well. They recently opened up a staking section where you can earn some polka dot rewards and you can earn some Bifrost reward. I have to double check on there. Essentially, it's almost 400% APY to lock up a token that is not fucking tradable at the moment. So I don't know. It seemed like a no-brainer to me. I'm going to drop the link in here. If you have some BNCS, I'd go ahead and throw that in there. Stake it. I think it's a 31-day lock. Again, it's not tradable, so I don't know what you'd be doing with it otherwise. If you got a big old bag, if you did the auto clicker thing, definitely go hit this up and get your almost 400% APY on your imaginary internet tokens. Link is in voice hangout chat. All right, I don't expect anyone to care or talk about that one, but I at least want to throw it out there for those who do have, sizable couch cushion bags of this. But yeah, I'm going to kick it back over to Jake. Jake, is there anything that you want to talk about, any talking points that we haven't hit yet, or conversations you want to spark up here?
Yeah, I think we can head over to the fairways here. If you are a PGA fan or a golf fan at all, there's the new season of PGA Reignmakers is starting up. So I know we talked about Reignmakers a lot here. It's basically NFTs that you can use to put in contests and compete for guaranteed prize pools. I think there's about like $12 million or so this season. I'm not sure the exact number. I think it's around there. Total in prize pools that you can win from these NFTs that's guaranteed from DraftKings. Their new pack drop is going to be tomorrow. Pretty fun, honestly. If it's a good way to. Honestly, I haven't been like super into golf in the past. I'm getting more and more into it, and it's really fun to have obviously a little bit of it's more incentive to watch the tournaments, and it's a good thing, especially during like the summertime when it's slower sports season. Football's over, basketball is over, like winding down, and it's really just like there's golf on the weekends. It's kind of a fun, like chill way where you just basically just pick 6 golfers in a lineup. And you hope that they do better than everyone else is 6 golfers. And you compete in these tournaments every week to win prizes. So a lot of people in MVHQ who are into the Reignmakers stuff, you can go to our Reignmakers focus discussion to learn more. And then also Brawlers, shout out Brawlers. He did a nice little field report as well recently. I don't have the exact link in front of me. But he did a little field report on PGA as well to kind of get you started if you want to learn more about that. But yeah, the pack drops are tomorrow afternoon, and there's basically like 4 different packs, 4 or 5 different packs for all tiers, all the way up from like $2,000 per pack all the way down to like $10 per pack, based on whatever tier you want to play in. So if you want to get interested in that, stop on by the focus discussion for Reignmakers. We'll chat it up a bit. I always have a good time getting into some PGA stuff. It's fun. Good way to sweat the tournaments and get more into it, learn more about the golfers and stuff. So yeah, if you're a golf fan, come check this out. Come check that out with us.
Got any golfers? Little PvP golf action.
Here, let me. I found the link. Here we go. This is Brawler's field report. I'll learn a bit more. But the only unfortunate thing is I know we have international community, people from all over. Unfortunately, it's only for US, Canada, and I think UK. As like some, maybe UK. I'm not sure for sure. But unfortunately, it's limited to those areas, and you do have to KYC, make an account. But if you are in those areas and you like golf, then would highly recommend it. It's a good time.
Shout out to gambling. Shout out to gambling for making golf interesting. It's a big lift. All right, great shout. Thanks, Brawlers, for the field report. Awesome information.
I did want to shout out also Deez Nuts. Once again, I know we talked about him a couple times. I know it's an MVHQ favorite. if you're in the Solana chats. We mentioned these a while back, about a month ago. They just dropped their AMM, which kind of allows them to be tradable basically as like a regular like token or like a shitcoin. And you can kind of chart them now instead of where they were only on like Tensor, and they were kind of bundled similar to like an inscription would be. So it's a lot easier now, I should say, to track the price and also trade in larger quantities. A lot more liquid now as well. And that's originally when that first dropped, it like really didn't do much to price at all. I think it almost like went down a little bit, maybe stayed still, but thankfully in the last day or so, the floor is actually like 3x on our nuts. So that's great to see. You can kind of track live price now. I think they tweeted out from their account. But just wanted to shout out Nuts because I know there's a lot of nut enjoyers in here that thankfully are now cooking if they still have them.
Love hearing about Deez Nuts. 10x from the bottom, Scott Coe is saying. Man, wouldn't you love to just tell your friends and family that you made a big old bag off Deez Nuts? These nuts are paying the rent, baby.
Yeah, these nuts are historical, I guess. They're the first token standard on what's called the tiny SBL token standard or whatever. I guess it allows for no more rent fees in your wallet when a new token it's harbor there, something specific to Sol. That's why Sol has like the Sol incinerator website where you can go, and if you sold tokens off, you can kind of like incinerate, I guess, that rent that was paid or already in your token, and you can actually get some Sol back. So ask about that in the Solana chat if you don't know what that is. You might be able to get some free Sol from that you didn't realize. But essentially, that eliminates the need for that. So it's pretty cool. I think it's still very slept on in my opinion. It has a good name, obviously, too, that people like. So I'm bullish on the nuts. I think a lot of people in MVHQ are too. But it's good to see them kind of advancing and getting easier ways to buy and sell and trade.
Hell yeah. Revolutionary nuts. All right, well, let's see. Coming up to the top of the hour here, I think we have actually sailed through all the talking points here. Just really quick recap, just kind of put in perspective all the stuff that we've covered here in this 1 hour jam packed. We got all the MVHQ updates. We talked about the Solana shitcoins win and Juke. We talked about L2s. We talked about Orbiter and Frame. I threw in some Berachain, some BNCS staking. Jake talked us through PGA, the ETF news, Deez Nuts. We got upcoming mints with Yaka, Smiles, Quantum Cats going right now. A lot of stuff going on. So I just want to kind of, I guess, give us a chance to either reset or wrap it up here. Is there anything else that, Jake, that you want to talk through, or anybody from the audience have any projects or topics or anything that we can kind of delve into a bit, or do we think we're all good here for this episode of Wake and Jake? What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I didn't have anything else I want to talk through. I do want to leave it open to the people, see if anyone else has anything they wanted to chat about before we wrap it up here.
Did you go over any of the blast development shit? Anyone doing any of that shit?
So we didn't go into depth. We can now. We are going to be doing an office hours specifically for the Big Bang, sort of their development contest. That's going to happen this week, and we'll have a kind of a dedicated space for everybody to, I guess, go through ideas or just kind of chop up and kind of figure out how we want to put our head together and attack this thing. But yeah, if there's something you want to share now, or if there's any questions, or if anybody wants to talk about it, we can totally do that now as well. We're also going to have, we said it at the very top of the show, we have a mission coming as well on Blast. So we definitely got Blast in the brain. Obviously it's going to have some attention and be a good opportunity to either launch products or potentially catch a W in that contest. So open to thoughts there. Anybody have anything on Blast or the Big Bang contest?
No, dude, that's perfect. Actually, just so you know, would you say later this week you to do like?
Yeah, forgive me, I don't have the date in front of me. I want to say like maybe Thursday potentially, but don't put it on your calendar. Yeah, I guess wait for the announcement. But yeah, we are definitely planning an office hours. So if people don't have any ideas right now, maybe jot some down or just think about it have some shower thoughts together for later in the week whenever we do have that event. Let me see if I can find it right now for you. Actually, yeah, that okay. Confirming that is going to be on Thursday for the office hour. Should be a cook, man. We got some giga brains in here. I'm excited to see. It's gonna feel like Shark Tank or something. You know what I mean? Throw out some
Yeah,
crazy ideas. We can build on it. Tell them they're stupid. Whatever. What were you gonna say, Jake?
I just saying 50% of the initial airdrop is going to be going to developers. So I think there's a lot of people looking to, at least try and like set something up. Get fire up that chat GPT, see if you can't maybe get some contracts out there to farm that last airdrop.
Yes, sir. What a cook that'll be. I'm pretty hyped and bullish on our cracked ass dev team, though. Just the speed at which they were minting on the blast testnet and stuff. I want to say they were like, maybe not the first mint, but potentially the first mint. But I know we were in like the top, like the first 100 mints. We had like, I don't know, 30% of them or something like that. Um, Man, the boys just dropped everything and went straight into it, cooked up some heat. So
Oh
definitely
yeah.
bullish on our team as far as us submitting for the proposal. As MVHQ as the platform is very clever, and then I think if we put our brains together, oh my god, yeah, we can do some absolute damage. So please don't miss that office hours on Thursday for the Big Bang competition. All right, this feels like a good time. I'm just gonna go ahead and make the gut call. We'll go ahead and stop the recording here and end the show, quote unquote, officially. Of course, we're still gonna vibe out and hang out in here, chop it up. Many questions that you had that you didn't want to ask during the show, feel free to bring those up. But yeah, we'll go ahead and close things out. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week at the same time.